to know, after 3 weeks that you have been here, we would like to know how about your experience in the residency.
I would like to correct you if I may. I've actually been in this residency twice, so in total it's about 9 weeks. I came back with a pretty conscious decision that not only am I kind of in love with Liman Dojo, but also because my project would require that I revisit some of the artists and get to know new ones. And Liman Dojo have given me a lot of help, and so did yourself. And with that, I guess I have to answer another question that you haven't asked, which is, what is my project? Why does it require that?
That was the second.
I'm too
and I'm
smart.
curious about the title.
Over anticipating.
Well.
The working title for the time being is Radici, Roots. I met a writer in Bologna who said that perché non hai radici, quindi hai fatto prestito degli altri. Because you don't feel roots in anywhere or from where you came from. And I was born in Hong Kong, I've lived in the States, London, my parents live in Canada, I have 2 passports, but it doesn't seem to matter to me, those written definitions. It matters more to me what I feel. And from almost 20 years ago, I visited Italy, and when I was living in London for 14 years, I came to Italy, different parts, a lot. And I feel always very well. Most important thing is the people, the weather, the food, and I have to say the art. And now that I am a full-time person trying to do art, I would like to say, rather than a full-time artist, I would like to get to know Italy with the perspective of getting to know the artists, because I think a lot of the work had been done on the art, but maybe less done on how some people are, the artists are people, and the spirit in them are sometimes shown through the artwork. And I think the people have been underrepresented in any body of work, whether it be paintings or photography. And as I'm a photographer who sometimes try to paint for hobby, for fun, but my medium is always going to be that. I've decided with maybe add-ons, and I will play with mixed media. But the fact is, when I was a teenager, when I first developed my love for photography with film, my first project was actually portraits. I haven't done portraits for years because at one point in my life I found people very annoying. And I did a lot of abstract, stuff without people, or even showing people as almost like objects. And now that I'm getting to know the country, it's Italians, it's not possible for me to go around knowing all Italians. And I think, for example, Robert Frank, the Swiss photographer, got to know America and show America through street photography. That was his chosen method. And I feel better getting to know people by meeting them once, twice, thrice. There's no limit to it, because it's a kind of development of the friendships and the intangible elements during my personal journey. And during this time, I collect some of the small pieces that they give me. I collect friendships, I keep them, hopefully. I make portraits of them. At the end, I'd like to make a book and an exhibition. I do think that there is a high level of interest to it, but the most important starting point for me is to get to know Italy through the art and the artists.
You said to me that you're looking for soul. What do you mean for soul?
It's a very highly debatable word if you are an atheist and don't believe in souls and spirits. I don't think I am religious, but I do think I have a spirituality, and that when I meet people, I have a feeling about certain people. That is the intangible part, right? It's not depending on the form, the age. It's, for example, the artists that I've met range a lot, from very young to in the 90s, and that is not the criteria for choosing to meet someone or not to meet someone, to take pictures of them, not to take pictures of them, to have a rapport with them, not to have a rapport with them. Similarly, it's not the type of art that they do, whether they're sculptors or painters or ceramists or textile, makers. Is if I identify a feeling that, I can talk to these people, I can go back to see them maybe for dinner or just for a drink, or, we share something in common despite the fact that we are from two different places physically, but the development of the rapport is the intangible part that I'm sure everybody has a word for it. It could be chemistry, it could be rapport, it could be meeting of the minds.
That's true. And now I want to know a personal thing. I mean, something about you.
You can always ask, but you may not get all the answers.
Okay. Somebody told me that you have a boyfriend here in Italy.
I have a lot of boyfriends in Italy.
Wow!
Full stop.
You will. More than one from today. So.
We're behind maintenance.
Okay. So, is it your project more about artists or more about yourself?
I think it's part and parcel, right? There is the story of Narcissus, who looked at the reflection of himself in the water and he goes, I really like this. And I cannot separate myself from the people that I'm looking at as opposed to the work that they create and whether I like it or not like it. The more rational criteria for looking at art or people, I think, is if they have, certain qualities. Are they kind? Do they have a heart in helping people? Are they generous? Do I feel good when I'm with them? I do feel that given that my journey is personal and my project is personal, and I'm not making a guidebook to demonstrate that these are the best artists in Italy, although notwithstanding that some of these artists may actually be the best artists in Italy, but if I do not include them, it may be a matter of I do not have the pleasure of meeting them. The chance didn't happen because I depend on sort of one degree of separation to meet all these people. I did not make a public commercial to attract artists that I can make these portraits with. Second of all, when you see good art and when I like certain art, most of the time when I meet the artist, I do actually identify something in them, and I feel that I have a broader range of tastes and appreciating personal qualities than a lot of people that I know. But the point is, if I meet these people and I don't feel like going back to them, I don't need to, because it's a journey. It's when I take my pictures, I take it very seriously. It's like work, but before I do take that picture, when I meet the people, it's part of my joy of traveling, and my work is my pleasure. So there is it's like separation, and if it's a big artist who repeatedly refused to meet up for whatever reason, I cannot force it, and that is also part of life. You don't have to force anything sometimes.
Relationship with
Yeah.
people. Okay, it was a pleasure to have
Thank you
here, and we hope to see you soon.
Come piacere.
Your Italian is great, so Kristin,
But
your
in
Italian is
this
great.
interview is not showing.